Next up we have a new 1350 series shaft. My customer Ramsden Landscaping, and it's for one of their Super Duties that is a sand truck. And the ask was, they broke the other one unfortunately during the last storm, and could I get something fixed up for them in a hurry here. We'll take a look at the new one and we'll show you, I'll take a look at what broke. And so we'll get down this. So the stub shaft broke on the old one. We'll look at that in a second. So I reconfigured this one to the older 1970s style Ford stub and slip. It eliminates the boot, and the boot was the root of the problem on here, and I'll explain why, but we'll just go with this right this second. So it's 1350 both ends. That's a 48 catch slip yoke, and 1521 stub, I believe. I can't remember right off the top of my head. 1350 snap tights. You can see that is the old style because that has a grease fitting in the slip yoke that I didn't have to put in. That's still manufactured that way, and it has the good screw-on style dust boot instead of the accordion boot. That's 3.5-inch 083 tubing. 427 weld yoke down there with another slicer snap tight. And I did reuse the OE flanges that were on it previously. It was a little bit of a rescue mission using them. They were just heavily packed up with rust, like happens to a lot of this stuff, especially a sand truck. Its operating length needed to be 56.5 center of U-joint, so that's what this is now. And we'll step over here and look at these two little beauties. That's spinning. That's about 2,900 RPM. 0 at the rear axle and 0 at the transfer case. So we're going to say that's a win for the sand truck. We'll just take a look at this other one. What happened to the other one? People may not have seen it. So I took this boot. There's the band clamp right there. That's the remnants of the original boot, and I took that off of here when it arrived broken. And it was like this, and it was Mayflower. There was corrosion. The rust was just coming out of here a lot. Yeah, you can see it's falling out. I did my best to not disturb it, but this stub here started out being 1.25 inch stub shaft, and then the spline's up here, and it is bigger. It's 1.5 inches. But this gets apple cored. The brine that basically ruins everything else diminished that stub shaft right in this area, right underneath the boot, in the pinch area there, where it could fester. And so the wet material is trying to come in from the outside in and get into the void, which is normally occupied by the inside of the accordion boot that would normally be there. And that just kept festering and festering in there until it diminished that. That's down to about 7/8. And it eventually just got to the point where it couldn't stand the load anymore, and it broke it. So that's just a little look at that. And these are pretty curious here. These are the clip rings that were in one of the yokes, and they are also diminished to the point where what was caught between the yoke and the inside face of the U-joint is still close to full thickness, but everything else just dissolved, and that's the way I peeled them out of there. So just a little show and tell. If you don't live in the Rust Belt, thank your lucky stars, because this is the stuff that, it dissolves vehicles. That's it's kind of no joke. So there's weather coming, and this wasn't, trying to get this done in a hurry for them. So she's going in the paint booth next, and they'll have it back in the morning.